morning. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, I am live in the right place, and I'm going to find my video. Give me just 1 second. Good morning. Hi, Laura. I see one person watching. 2. Okay. Looks like we're in the right spot, hopefully. Hi, Diane. Good morning. Hi, Terry. Okay, good. We've got people joining. Okay, good morning, everyone. Hello. Happy Sunday. It's September 1st. I woke up this morning. I'm like, whoa, it's September. Like, it's crazy. August flew by. I literally blinked and it was gone. Good morning, Sherry. Hello. Hi, Patty. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I am really excited to show you guys this new bundle. It's called a Friend Like You bundle. And I can't wait to show you guys. I guess I should show you the framelits, what they actually look like, or the dies. I love the dies. So I'm really excited to show you guys projects that I'm featuring this bundle today. I have lots to tell you, lots of things going on. Of course, it's a new month, so it's lots of new things that are happening. I'm really excited. So good morning. Hello. Hi, everybody that's hopping on. Give it a few seconds and then we will draw for winners for our raffles from last week. I was giving away 3 packages of the linen thread. So I'll be drawing 3 names of people who shared my video last week. Go ahead and hit that share button this week. I'm giving away a new product. And so I'll tell you all about that in a second. After you're done sharing, make sure you go over to my blog post for today's projects. There is a Rafflecopter down at the bottom, and it's you go in, you answer 2 questions, and you're entered to win. I have been starting something new where the Rafflecopter is my projects from today's Facebook Live. I draw a name for a winner. So last week, my projects, you guys remember, were the Back to School Harvest Hello. Remember these? So these 3 projects. So Rafflecopter picked a random winner for me and selected Colleen Fox. Colleen, congratulations. So these are what my make and takes look like. Everything is cut and scored, separated into envelopes or bags. It also has the link to where you can find the tutorial, my video. So congratulations, Colleen. The other way that you can get my make and takes each week is by placing a $30 order by Friday, the following Friday. So if you want these make and takes, there's a couple ways to get it. So thank you, Stacy. I'm glad it's growing out, but you guys said you liked it straight, so I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to curl it. I like easy Sundays. Sundays need to be easy. Okay, so that was my Rafflecopter last week. Make sure you go over and answer those questions so you'll be entered in for this week's make and takes. Like I said last week, if you hit the share button, I'm giving away the linen thread, which I'll draw winners for here in a second. I have everybody's name in this cup, all the tickets. Thank you for hitting that share button today. I'll tell you here in a second what I'm going to be giving away this week. I'm going to take my ponytail off my wrist here. All right, here we go. Karen Dixon. Karen, you win one of the linen threads, but I'm not done. I've got more. Let's see, who else? Hi, Amy. I feel like it's been forever. Stacy Bianchi. Stacy, thank you for sharing. You won a linen thread. One more. We got one more. No, Terry, I'm sorry. The make and takes from last week are no longer available. I guess if you wanted my make and takes from last week instead of this week, I will take your $30 order and make the ones you want, I guess. I don't know. Sure, whatever. I've never had anyone ask me that before. Virginia Kunkel, Virginia, congratulations. All right, you 3 lucky winners. You guys got my linen thread, so congratulations. I love giving away prizes each week. I like spoiling you guys as much as I can. So speaking of which, so this week, if you hit the share button, I am going to be giving away some of the new Fluid 100 watercolor paper. It is the new and improved watercolor paper from Stampin' Up. And I'm going to be completely honest. I have heard it's amazing, but I have never used it. I haven't even ordered it. So I'm going to order myself a pack. I'm going to order you a pack. So if you hit the share button, I'll enter you to win that Fluid 100 paper. I have heard it's amazing to stamp on. It gets nice clear images. It is very durable. It's really nice thick watercolor paper. I've heard really good things. So I'm excited to use it. So we'll use it together, me and the winner. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay. Couple things. It's a new month, you guys. New month, as you can barely see because it cut off. It says September Stampin' Rewards code. I always have a code every month for my orders. So again, as you were asking about the $30 order for my Make and Takes, that's the code you'll use when you place your $30 order. If you bump your order to $50, you get my Make and Takes and my free gift, which my free gift this month is the coffin treat boxes. 12 in a pack. So fun. Look how cute this coffin is that they decorated. I can't wait. I'm going to be playing with my coffins as soon as I can. Yes, Marie, I'm anxious to try the new watercolor paper too. So that is my free gift this month. So make sure you place an order with that host code KFYCJKMX and you will get my free gift and my Make and Takes from that week. Okay? So that's a new month, so I always have to do that and that giant printout. I've got to work with my printer. Okay, also big thing, really exciting. I know, Karen, right? Getting ready for Halloween. You got to have the coffins for Halloween. Perfect treat boxes. Okay, so last week to get in on my holiday paper and ribbon shares, you guys, we have a new catalog coming out September 4th, which is this week. Super excited, and I will be placing an order for paper and ribbon. And my paper and ribbon shares look like this. You get a pack of 6x12 of all of the new paper, except there's one pack, I think, or two packs that are 6x6, so you'll be getting 6x6 on those. But you get a sheet of every single designer series paper in the pack, and you get 2 yards of all the ribbon. Oh, my green ribbon's falling. So I wrap this and put it in an acetate box. I put labels so you guys know exactly what you're getting. It has the item number and the name of the ribbon on it. Same thing with the paper. It will have the item number and the name of the paper. And it is an amazing deal. It's a quarter of the cost to get all of the paper and all of the ribbon in the holiday catalog. It's a great deal. I have a special gift if you order both. So it's $31 just for the paper, $17 just for the ribbon. Combined, it's $55.50. That's including tax, so you can combine and just pay $7.50 for tax. And you get a free gift from me, which is this Mercury Designer Series acetate. So it's like glass, and they're kind of see-through, but it's mercury. So you get half a pack of that as a thank you gift from me, because I have to cut it to 6x12 so that I can ship it to you. So look at that. Look at that paper. Look at how it's see-through. Isn't that cool? So you get a half a pack of this as a thank you for doing my paper and ribbon share. Again, you have until, the end of September 3rd, midnight, to sign up, because I'm placing the order on September 4th. I'll need to demo it. Demo what, Karen? What do I need to demo? So that is my free gift to you if you do both the paper and ribbon share. I have a link to sign up. It's on my project sheet, but you can also message me and I'll be happy to send it to you. Thank you to those that have signed up already. You guys are amazing. So don't wait, you guys. Get signed up for that. So that's my paper and ribbon share. The other thing I have going on every month, as you guys know, is In Color Club. We are on month 4 already. Insane. Well, I used this Follow Your Art, or It Starts With Art bundle for this month. So this month we're going to be making these cute little cases that store the In Color refills perfectly. Can you guys see that? Look at that. It fits all the re-inkers. And we're going to do watercolor wash and create this background and use those cute little re-inkers from the It Starts With Art. We also are doing a card. Oh, I need to demo the acetate paper. I know, Karen, I'm working on it. And so then it also comes with this cute card that looks like a box full of Stampin' Supplies. Is that not cute? So this one I use Purple Posy, but whatever color you're getting that month will be the color that you get in the box. Isn't that adorable? Like, oh, look. So it folds flat and fits in an envelope, but then it opens up and stands up and pops up like a card. Isn't that adorable? So those are our projects for In Color. You are welcome to sign up and join us. Doesn't matter if it's your first month or your fourth month. For those of you that do all 5 months, you have a free gift coming to you next month of the Designer Series paper and the faceted dots. But you are welcome to join at any time. And what I do is I order you the paper, the marker, the ink refill, the ribbon, and I think that's it. Of all of one of the new 5 In Colors. And then I send you the 2 projects. And of course, this month you're gonna get the case for the re-inkers to store all your re-inkers. Okay, so that is the In Color Club. I also have a link for that on my store. So if you want the link, message me and I'll be happy to send that to you. You have until the 5th. So that's this week as well. I think it's Friday. So don't wait. All right, you guys, so this set, Friend Like You, I absolutely adore it. It definitely caught my eye in the catalog right away, but yeah, it's taken me a long time to be able to play with it. So, a couple of things. So the first one is I did this Fancy Fold Z Fold card is what it's called. And I just loved having this flower kind of panel in the front and then kind of having this kind of scenic background. So you can see when it opens. So I did stamp the words just a little bit too high and too far over this way so you can kind of see it. So there will be some things that I've learned about when I've made this card that I'll fix on the next one. So there's our first one. I absolutely love the color combination, the fact that I put vellum on the back of the flowers to kind of create depth. So I'll show you how to make this card. The second one here is I combined the Best Catch bundle, which has the fish, with the Friends Like You. I think that they go really well together because it has the grass with the pussy willows and it has the watermarks, and so it has this really cool, you know, scene that it cuts out of the grass and the pussy willows, and that just made me think immediately of a fishing pond. So I created a fishing pond. So you can see I'm actually using pigment sprinkles, you guys. So if you wanted to see me using pigment sprinkles, now's your chance. I'm going to be doing pigment sprinkles to color the grass, and I'm going to be using it to color the water. So very excited about this card. Love these 2 sets together, the Best Catch and Friend Like You. Don't they go together like so well? I love it. Okay, and then last but not least, we have this cute notepad holder. So this, I love the palm trees that are in these dies. So you can see the palm tree creating a little scene here. And nothing I like more than a sunset with a black silhouette in the front. My favorite thing. And I always love to do the beach themes like that because, you know, when the sun is setting and it's dark, you know, you see the beautiful colors in the sky. So then it opens up to this adorable little notepad with a little sentiment on here. Now these notepads are actually from the Dollar Tree, and I'll show you. You get a pack of like 4 or 5 together in the pack. So I just tear off my pack and I have another set. So this is kind of cool for $1. You have a bunch of these notepads that you can create. These little notepad holders. It'd be cute as like little Maui thank you notepads or something for my desk to write notes on. So I'm going to show you how we did that. But first, let's go ahead and make this beautiful fancy fold card. Okay, on to our beautiful card. So what you will need for this card, and like I said, I forgot to cut this down, so we'll go ahead and cut it down together. This piece of Petal Pink cardstock, and we are going to cut this at 4 1/4 by 11. So I have the paper long side, you know, short side at the top, marked it at 4 1/4, and we're just going to cut that like so. Now we need to use our scoring blade. We're going to score at 2 3/4, and we're going to score at 5 1/2. Okay. Now we also need a piece of Petal Pink And it also needs to be at 11, but we need to cut it so it's big enough that we can cut our flowers out of it, which it's about 3 inches should be good. So if I cut this at 11 by 3, then we can cut our flowers out of it, okay? So let's go ahead and do that now. And I also needed a piece of vellum, same thing, 11 inches by 3 inches. All right, so I'm just gonna give myself a little bit, maybe about 1/2 inch from the bottom. 1/2 inch from the bottom is all we need. I just want the edge of my framelit to be, or die, to be slightly off the vellum so that it cuts it completely. We'll run that through. And just run it through a couple times. Just make sure everything got cut out really well. I just want to show you how we do this. I did the tile coasters using photos of friends' vacation. Oh, Gail, I bet they love that. That's how sweet is that? Okay, so we've got the first cut, and now we're gonna move it down, and we're gonna line this up again as best we can. And we're gonna cut, let me make sure the die is all the way on here. And we're going to cut right here. I love this die too, Janie. It's so pretty. Okay, so we're gonna do that exact same thing on our piece of cardstock, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do with that. So got a lot of little pieces of vellum. My plate has been through a lot. You can see, you can hardly hardly see the original color of it or clearness of it. All right, so then we're gonna do this again. Run it through. I'm just gonna cut it. I'm just gonna run it through a couple times just to make sure it got cut all the way. Okay. So you can see it's already got it cut. I'm gonna leave all the pieces in there just until I can cut this last piece. Okay. Here we go. So we're gonna just pop this out. As you guys can see, there's lots of little pieces. Hopefully everything has been cut. Okay, so there's lots of little pieces that we have to kind of push out, but it's all right. Kind of messy. It's not too bad. So there's our beautiful, look how pretty these flowers are. Such a cool scene it creates, this beautiful background. So let's go ahead and throw all this garbage scrap. We have to do the same thing with the vellum. Okay. So here's our 2 pieces of, oh, this paper is driving me crazy. Here are these 2 pieces of silhouette. And again, we're just going to kind of like overlap them a little bit. Life is not perfect, keeping it real. Hashtag keeping it real. All right, so we've got our 2 pieces here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of glue. I used the tear and tape, but before we do that, I almost forgot this step. You guys, we're gonna wanna score these. Same thing as how we scored the big piece of cardstock. We're gonna score these at the same places. I'm gonna turn this over. Score at 2 3/4, because we want the folds at the same places. 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Oops, I ripped flowers. Awesome. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing with the vellum. Two 3/4 and 5 1/2. Okay, so we've got those. Now let's go ahead and glue these together. Now, I say be really careful with this because when it folds, so the first time, for example, I'm gonna just show you I'm gonna point out the flaws in my card. I used tear and tape, and then when I folded, my cardstock tore because there was no give. So when you're gluing these together, kind of keep that in mind. Oops, keep that in mind that you have to kind of fold it and make sure that it doesn't tear. So my suggestion to you is liquid glue instead of tear and tape because my tear and tape kind of tore the paper. So right now I'm just kind of gluing this down, and I did offset it a little bit so the vellum is a little bit higher in the back than the pink. Can you guys see that? I know the vellum's probably hard to see. So then we have the fold here and the fold here, like a Z. Remember, we're doing the Z. And then our cardstock that we scored over here is going to fold the other way. So it's like this. So we have our short side here on the left-hand side. Okay. And then we have the opposite kind of going on this. So we have the short side here, like that, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and work on the background. We have 2 pieces for the background. One piece measures 4 inches by 2.5. The other piece measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And we have Grapefruit Grove and Daffodil Delight that we're going to sponge to create kind of a scenic background, okay? So we've got our Grapefruit Grove. Just putting ink on the sponge, and I'm just going to sponge half of the card. So I'm going to do the bottom half in the Grapefruit Grove. Again, I'm going darkest to lightest, so dark on the sides into lighter in the center. Okay. Just sponging it. We're going to do the exact same thing on the smaller piece. Okay. And then we're going to take the yellow, the Daffodil Delight. Oh, actually, this is Pineapple Punch. I take that back. Pineapple Punch. I think I put Daffodil Delight on the project sheet even. My bad. I guess which yellow you use probably doesn't matter too much. So we're just kind of creating this like sunset, I guess. Kind of pretty, right? We'll bring it into the middle a little bit. All right. Okay, so we've got our 2 pieces. Now we can Afternoon Delight. I like it, Janie. I like it a lot. Okay, so then we have to, I'm gonna glue this down. Normally I stamp everything before I glue it down, but because of the placement's so important, I'm gonna glue this down first and then we'll stamp and it's gonna be absolutely perfect, right? So we're gonna put this down with the Grapefruit Grove on the bottom. Like so. Do I have like dried Brusho pigment sprinkles on this thing? I feel like I'm getting things messy. Okay, so then we have this piece here. We could have even gone putting another piece of 2.5 by 4 right here in the center, but I didn't think about that when I made the first one, so we're not going to do it on this one either. Okay, now we need some dragonflies. So I took a piece of Petal Pink and I took the Grapefruit Grove and the dragonfly. Love these cute little dragonflies. They are in this stamp set right here. There's 2 of them and the dies cut them out. So I just stamped a couple dragonflies and we'll go ahead and cut those out with the dies. And I love this about Stampin' Up's dies. They put both of them together exactly like it's stamped so that you can cut 2 of them out at the same time. Isn't that cool? Thank you, Stampin' Up. Thank you for doing that. It's those little things that make a big difference. So we're gonna go ahead and Okay, so let me put the little dragonfly dies away before I lose those. So we've got our little dragonflies. Now we're gonna create this, this little scenic box here. So I have 2 pieces, and I can't remember the measurements on these. So the Whisper White is 2 3/4 by 3, and the bigger piece is 3 3/4 by 3, okay? So that's the measurement. So I have the Petal Pink as the background piece and Whisper White as the center. Now I have, I'm going to be using this grass with the flowers. So we've got the grass, which I stamped in Pear Pizzazz, and then we've got the flowers, which I stamped in the Grapefruit Grove and Daffodil Delight. Not Daffodil Delight, the Pineapple Punch. I had my mind set on Daffodil Delight, and I don't know, I can't get past that anymore. All right, so Pear Pizzazz right here. So we're gonna stamp that on both sides. One there and one there. Okay, and then for the flowers centers. So here's, you kind of have to get those 2 different colors. What I did was, one, you could, if you have the Stampin' Write markers, you could just color them. But since I don't have the Stampin' Write markers, I just stamped carefully on the sides so that I only got the flowers and not these 2 long pieces here. So we'll just stamp these on like so. And then we'll do it again on the other one. Okay. And stamp those. All right, and then we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're gonna do the yellow. So I'm cleaning that off. So now we're gonna just get these 2 long stems here at the top. So again, we have to kind of be strategic about how we ink those up. And stamp those on. And there. All right, so now we have our pretty flowers. I love this image. I love this stamped image. And then we're going to stamp the sentiment, enjoy the little things, and that's gonna be in Stays On, and it will be in the center. So let me grab my, I don't know where my Stays On is. I'm gonna use Memento and black ink instead then. I don't know what happened to, I think my Stays On is still out with my tiles. I forgot to grab it. So we're gonna use Memento. So enjoy the little things right there. All right, and so then we need to stamp the other sentiment, which is, and everything else will work out. And we're gonna stamp that in Memento. Just put this on a block here. Okay, so this time I want to be a little bit more careful about where this goes because I don't want it to show past the fold. Perfect. Okay. Because you guys could see that I just stamped a little bit too far over with my first one so you could see it. I just want that to be a surprise on the inside. All right, so now that I've got this stamped and everything, I'm going to glue this on. To my matte piece here. Okay. All right, so let's take our little scene here. We have our pretty scene, and we are going to put adhesive, and I'm going to use tear and tape for this part because I want it to hold really good. I love the sentiment too, Eileen. This is a really, really cute set. All right, so we're going to put this on the back here. Or on the back, I guess, of here. So we're gonna put this across. So just this first panel here, we'll put the tear and tape. And we're going to adhere this on. And we just want to line up the end like so, okay? so that just that one end is attached. Now we're gonna take tear and tape and put a piece right here on the end of this side, like so. Peel off the back. And then we can just lay this flat and glue it down. I'm all about gluing things down flat. If you can find a way to glue things flat, always glue flat, okay? And so then when you fold it, see how it folds like that? You have this beautiful, look at, it's like this whole field of these beautiful flowers. Like I cannot get enough of it. It's so pretty. I love it. Well, then we're gonna take our pretty little sentiment here. We are gonna cover up some of our flowers, but that's okay. So we're just gonna put this in the center. I like to use this score line as the center. And we're gonna put tear and tape on the bottom because we know we can do that. And then we'll put tear and tape on half. You guys can't even see what I'm doing, I'm off screen. We're gonna put tear and tape on half of this piece. The half that's gonna be down on this side, okay? And we're gonna glue it down. Okay, so now that I've glued this on, and I am kind of sad because I glued it a little bit low, but it's still good. It's still fine. You can see my other one is a little bit higher up, but again, I don't think that really matters. So we're just going to glue some dragonflies on now. So I'm just going to do a little dot of liquid glue and just start gluing these little dragonflies. Let's do a little one. Just make sure the glue is on the flower so it sticks. And there you go, you guys. You have this beautiful card. Look how pretty that is. I absolutely love this card. How fun is that? All right, you guys, so that is project number 1. I hope you guys like it and you're not intimidated by it. It's such a fun fold and has a really nice little wow factor to it, okay? All right, so project number 2, let's go ahead and move on to this fun little, I don't know what you call this. Notepad holder, I guess I called it, notepad holder. And I want to tell you guys, I want to be honest and upfront with you. I used this white ribbon, not knowing that it was on, it's not current ribbon, and I couldn't find a decent substitution for it. So I'm just going to go with it, and we're just going to continue to use that retired ribbon. So I'm really sorry, guys. I couldn't find, I used, the colors that I used were Daffodil Delight, Fleur de Flamingo, and Balmy Blue. None of them had coordinating ribbon, and then I looked for white ribbon and there wasn't anything that's just plain white. There was silver white ribbon, and there's the polka dot tulle ribbon and all these other ones, but there wasn't like just a solid white. So I gave up on the ribbon search. You could do black, but I felt like that was too stark. So we're gonna use the retired ribbon. So this Balmy Blue cardstock is 7 7/16 by 5 1/4, and it's scored on the long side at 3 5/8 and 3 7/8. Okay, so it has this little fold like a book. Okay, again, we're going to use one of these Dollar Tree notepads. So I have a piece of watercolor paper. I'm going to be completely honest, this is not Stampin' Up! Watercolor paper. Again, I'm going to be ordering that Fluid 100 watercolor paper because I've heard amazing things about it. There is our paper, and I just put a piece of paper towel underneath it because I'm going to do a little bit of watercoloring, and I just want to make sure that I have my surface covered so it doesn't get ruined. I have my 3 colors here. I have Balmy Blue, so I'm just going to squish the ink so that I have some ink there to pick up. Squish the yellow for that, and then Fleur de Flamingo. You guys see that? Okay, so then I took my aqua painter. Make sure you've put water inside the painter. And you can get your watercolor paper really wet. It helps spread the color. Just getting it super wet. Okay, and so we're gonna make this sunset, right? So we have this, I'm gonna use this as the example. if you guys can see it. So we're going to start with the yellow at the top. And we're going to just pick some up on our brush and then just brush it down like so. Okay, so we've got the yellow on there. And then we can start incorporating some pink. So I'm just gonna get the yellow off my brush because I don't want to get pink or yellow onto my pink ink pad. So picking up the pink and brushing that, and I want to mix in the yellow so it starts to turn orange right here. Okay, picking up some more pink to go down. So again, I want that kind of where pink and yellow touch, I want it to be orange. And then as I move down to get more pink, like so. And then same thing with the blue. We're going to come up with the blue down here. And as we come up, we're going to mix with the pink and kind of turn a little bit of purple, I guess. Okay, and if you feel like you have a lot of one color, you can bring the other color back in. So I'm going to get my Flirty Flamingo, bring that in a little bit. I feel like it's kind of light. Mix it in with the blue right here. And we're starting to see that sunset. Do you guys see the sunset as it starts to change? Now you are going to have these pools of water on the side. Just tap those off on the side of the paper towel. You don't want it to pool there because then the color will just pool there. I'm really happy with this, so I'm going to stop, but you can keep adding layers of color until you've got the shade that you like. Just clean out your aqua brush, squeeze water until it comes clean. Okay, and then we will heat dry this so it can dry pretty quick. Thank you, Cindy. All right, so we've got our watercolor. We're just gonna take our heat tool and just heat this real quick. Okay, so my paper's completely dry. So now I can stamp my sentiment, which I used Life is Good with a Friend Like You, which I thought was a really cute sentiment. I really actually like all of the sentiments in this set a lot. Okay, so this piece, did I tell you, this piece measures, this is watercolor paper. This piece measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. And again, if I ever forget to tell you a measurement, know that they are on my project sheet in my blog. You can go pick up, go click on the project sheet link and just print those out. And they have everything that I used. Okay, so we've got our sentiment stamped there. It looks really good. All right, so now we're gonna cut out the palm tree in the black, and that's gonna kind of be our silhouette. And so the die for the palm tree is here, our little palm trees. Now, one thing that I learned about this die is that you have to be careful and a little bit strategic when cutting it out, because all of the leaves, and you can kind of see that here, are disconnected from the palm tree. They're all these little tiny pieces. So we have to glue them each down where they need to go, okay? I know, Patty, I was thinking of that flipping waffles when I said it. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this palm tree out. I have a piece of basic black cardstock. And I just am gonna show you what I mean about this. Okay, so we're gonna cut it out. Yeah, sticky paper would work really good. Except that it's no longer available. Okay. I mean, not through Stampin' Up! Anyway. Oh, of course. So it's not gonna let me show you this time. So last time when I pulled it up, it all stayed in the paper. You can see some of the leaves stayed. Most of it is still on my plate here. So we're gonna play with this a little bit. Okay. So first thing we need to do is glue this down to the bottom of our watercolor paper. Okay. So I'm gonna use liquid glue. Okay. All right, so now for the other pieces, well, as another one falls out. Fortunately, some of these stayed in. So what I did the last time for the pieces that stayed in, so for example, these 3 pieces at the bottom. I put glue. This little piece fell out, but I put glue on them when they were in the paper. Oh, they're all falling out. Darn it, this isn't working. Okay, well, whatever. We'll go with it. We're going to use this as a template. That's fine. So I'm going to use the outline as a template and put these pieces back in with glue. And I'm going to use my little tweezers. So this is a little bit of work, not gonna lie. So we'll put that in. And we'll put some glue on this. And glue that down. And again, remember this outside piece is just our template. And we have this little piece in here. So you can see the big palm, or the little palm tree is almost complete. Unfortunately, you guys, that one didn't work, but if the paper stays in your cardstock like it did the first time, I literally just put glue on the back and glued it down. Like, it was so easy. This was a little bit more challenging, of course, because I was live and it all went to crap. I probably should have just started over and tried to keep it in the cardstock, but I was trying something new. Okay, so got that on there. So then we are going to take this piece of Whisper White, and this piece of Whisper White is going to mat our watercolor paper. And this is measuring 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. So we'll just glue this to the back. Watching me struggle live is so much fun. Yes, Terry, my palm trees are blowing in the wind, and one of the palm leaves is about to fall to the floor, dramatically. Okay, so there's our beautiful scene. Totally worth it. Totally worth that work for a beach scene. Okay, and then we're gonna take our ribbon. Again, I'm using that retired Classic Weave Whisper White ribbon. Don't tell on me. Okay, so we've got that. And then we're going to take our glue and glue this right over our ribbon. So we want to make sure it's going the right direction. Want to make sure that it's in the center. And we will just glue this down. And we have a little bit of time to kind of wiggle things around because it's liquid glue. It gives us about 10 seconds of wiggle room. So we'll just let that dry. Ooh, Lynn, if it's gonna be a struggle, you know I've done it first. I've done it worst and I've done it first. No, I'm just kidding. It's not all bad. Usually it's pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and trim off about the same length for our bow. And so then we have this inside piece, which measures 3.5. This inside piece is 3.5 by 2 5/8. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is just kind of fold this over on itself like this. Okay, so that it has a front and a back. And so we're going to glue this down and I'm going to stamp on it. So that's kind of why I wanted to fold it, so I have like a line that I can follow. And I'm going to stamp the Happy Day sentiment. See, Barb? So they do fall all the time. Like, I just made it realistic. I made the palm trees realistic. All right, so we're going to stamp Happy Day on our little piece of cardstock here, and then we're gonna glue this down. I'm gonna use tear and tape for this, just for fun. I will look at the trees. Keeping it real. Hashtag keeping it real. All right, so we're gonna lay this over the top. Okay, so now we have that. And then I thought, I didn't do this on the first one, but I thought it'd be fun to stamp the pages with palm trees, with little black palm trees. So we'll see. I'll just stamp the first page, but I have seen where like they take a notepad and they stamp all the pages. So I thought that was cute. So let's go ahead and stamp. Just the front page will be fun, just to see how it looks. I'm gonna do it in black because that's kind of the theme here. Black palm trees. And I'm gonna do it on this side. So we've got the black. And then if we do the palm trees, I probably have to take that off. So you can stamp the palm trees too. How cute is that? And then you have a little, and then if you could stamp palm trees on all the pages, you'd have little palm trees. How cute. All right, so then let's go ahead and put tear and tape down on the back and glue it to the inside of our little notepad holder. And again, we just kind of want it to be lined up with the score line, glued in our little notebook. And then we just tie a bow. Oh, yeah. Piece of cardstock on the back of the inside of the notepad to slide in and out so you can replace it. Smart. I didn't think of that. Thank you for that suggestion. So there's a cute little notepad. These would just be fun to pass out, I don't know, for a Maui swap or something. But these would be really cute. And I thought they would be fun maybe just to hand out to your friends. I liked it. I love the back. I love the scenes and I love the palm trees. I love the sentiments. I really love this set. It's super, super cute. Okay. Now, guys, we're going to get on to the pigment sprinkles. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to create this pond, right? I told you that I saw the grass and the pussy willows and I thought of a pond. And so I knew that I wanted to make this pond. And of course, I wanted to use my pigment sprinkles because I have the pretty blues and the pretty greens. So I am going to show you how I made this card. I used watercolor paper for this as well. You need 2 pieces of watercolor paper. One is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and that's the water. And then this piece is going to be our grass. And so this one is cut at 5 1/4 by about 3 because we need enough room to cut it out. Okay. Oh, Cassie, great idea. I love that as hostess gifts. Smart, smart, smart. All right, so pigment sprinkles, you guys are probably pretty familiar with them. They look like this. There's 6 different colors. Today we're gonna be using the Bermuda Bay and the Granny Apple Green. Can you guys tell that I have used these a lot? Like, look at how gross they are on the outside. I've been using them a lot. Just gonna say that. And then the other thing that we need is a Stampin' Spritzer filled with water, which of course mine is empty. I didn't fill it ahead of time. I apologize. So you just screw off the top, and I always have like a water bottle with water nearby, and I just pour water into it. Stampin' Spritzer is my favorite way to use the pigment sprinkles, and that's just to activate the crystals with water. Okay, and I'm gonna use, you guys, if you've used pigment sprinkles, you know how messy this gets. So I'm gonna use more paper towels. The more the better. Okay, you guys ready? I have not tried mixing the sprinkles in the spritzer ahead of time with alcohol. I feel like getting the crystals inside of the spritzer would be a mess and craziness. So no, I have not tried that, but it's a suggestion. It probably could be done, Amy. Okay, so this is the Bermuda Bay. I'm gonna cover this, and you can see I'm just tapping because you don't want to go crazy with the crystals. A little goes a long way, and it's so cool when it activates with water because it's like magic. Okay, so, and it will get everywhere and it will stain your fingers. All right, so here we go. We're gonna activate with the spritzer. You guys see that? Look at that. Look how magical that is. And you just want to get all the pigment sprinkles activated. And then I intentionally want my crystals, I want my water to run in both directions because I want it to look like water, right? And water is usually flowing in some way. And I don't want speckled look because that doesn't look very watery, right? It needs to look like a water scene. So I am going to make sure that all of my all the crystals are activated. And every time you do this, your scene is going to look different. So you can see mine has a lot more white on this one. This one is a lot more even coverage. Every time you throw these crystals on your paper, they're going to activate in a different way. So again, I'm just tapping off the pools of excess water on the sides because if you leave it there, it'll be darker on the top and bottom. So I'm just getting the excess off. Okay. And then while this sits for a second, we're going to dry both of them, but let's go ahead and activate our green. Let's do our green for the grass. So I have the green, and this is crazy. It looks orange. It's so weird, but you're just going to sprinkle it on there and it looks orange. Very strange, right? But as soon as this water hits, it turns this pretty green. So we're going to get our grass. Okay, so we're just gonna let that water sit for a second. So you can see there a lot of the water's pooling on the sides. Again, we want to get that off because we don't want the ends to dry darker than the rest. Oops. Oh. Okay, and we're just going to dry both of these. All right, so we've got our water, right? Looks so much different than this one. So you can just see, like every time, you just really never know. You just kind of got to go with it and let the crystals kind of do its thing. All right, so then we're just going to wipe this up because we are done with that. Now, we have a couple things we need to do. I'm going to set these aside for a minute, and we're going to do all the Big Shot work together at once. So what we need to do right now is stamp our fish. So this is the fish from the Best Catch stamp set. So this one right here. And it goes, I think, great with this, these grasses, the grasses that go here. Even the words, enjoy the little things. Like, what guy or girl doesn't like to just go out and enjoy themselves and do what they like to do? You know, whether that be fishing, golfing, hunting, crafting. But I love this fish. So I want to show you guys how I color him. I stamped him in Memento Black, and I'm going to be using the blends to color him. So these are the blends colors that I chose to color my fish with. You can see my first one here. I did greens, browns, and yellows, and a Calypso Coral, kind of a salmon-y color. So I did this kind of in sections. So I took my crumb cake first and I did like a top kind of crumb cake section here at the top and down at the bottom, and even a little bit on the inside. And this is dark. I think I used the less dark. I think I used the light last time, but that's okay. And then I have my my Daffodil Delight, which I did in the center section. This is also dark. And we're just gonna do a section here with the yellow. And then Calypso Coral down at the bottom. So we did like his chin and his belly in the Calypso Coral. Just mixing some of those colors at the end. And then if you do this kind of base with the light Old Olive, just kind of mixing the yellow and the brown. Again, kind of blending. That's what blends do, right? That's what they're meant to do, is blend. And I'm gonna go to the fine tip because some of this detail. Okay, and I'm gonna blend it down in here. Again, I'm just blending that green into each of the colors. Kind of mixing them all together. And this is again that light Old Olive. And then if you want to, you can go in with the dark and do some texturing, some shading, you know, maybe the inner part of the fin. Maybe down here, parts of the fin are dark, in the mouth, around the eyes. And then you can go back with your light and blend those sections. Okay, so now we have our pretty little fish. Doesn't he look cool? I'll bring him up close so you guys can see. And then we are going to cut him out, and we're going to also cut. Ooh, so cool. And so then you have all these different shades of green. You know, some of the Pussy Willows came out darker, some of the sections came out lighter, some have a little bit of green. So it's really cool to kind of see all the different shades. Like that's kind of like that textured look is kind of what I was going for. So there we have that. And then on this piece, look at that against the water. How cool is that gonna be? So cool. So what I did to add a little bit more depth to it, and you don't have to do this is totally optional, but I took soft suede and the Granny Apple Green, and I stamped some reeds in the background. So there's the reeds that's in the Friends Like You stamp set. These reeds with the Pussy Willows. So I stamped that in Granny Apple Green in the background, just to give it some more texture. And I even stamped some of the Pussy Willows in soft suede, just to, again, add to the card a little bit. Okay, so it's kind of gives it even a little bit more depth of the grass. Okay, so now we can just put this guy together. Well, actually, we have one more thing to do, which is to stamp the label. So I have a piece of Whisper White, and I'm doing the Enjoy the Little Things because I like that set. I like that saying a lot. So we're just going to stamp that here in black. I used Memento. We're going to take this little Darling label punch and punch that out. And then, so let's go ahead and glue this down. I'm going to use Tear and Tape. Now, when I use pigment sprinkles. It curls the paper, right? And especially watercolor paper, it's thick and it can curl a little bit. So tear and tape or liquid glue, they're strong adhesives, and I feel like they help hold the paper down because once they start to curl, it's kind of hard to control them. You call them cigars on the Pussy Willows. They kind of look like cigars. I saw this thing on Facebook once where the dad put mustard on it and tried to convince his kids it was a hot dog, which I thought was cute. Okay, so we've glued that down, and then we're going to do the same thing with the reeds, the grass. So we'll just put, I'm actually just going to use tear and tape. Oh, and I'm going to put it down so that it won't show above the grass. And what I'm going to do is, I know it's hanging off the edge, I'm going to peel this off and fold the adhesive up so that it's not below the reeds, but it's not inside the grass either. So the adhesive is just on that line. And we're gonna glue this down like so. Okay, so now the grass can kind of fly free up at the top, but it's glued down at the bottom. We're gonna put our fish, and I love this, that the little fin kind of gets cut out a little bit so you can make it kind of 3D. So the fish is gonna go on 2 dimensionals. And I like to kind of tuck him in a little bit so he's under the reeds a little bit, just slightly, like so. Okay, and then, then I was like, okay, I want to use this silver metallic thread. You guys can you guys see that in the camera? And I thought that would look like fishing line. So I have some of that silver metallic thread. I'm just going to bundle up a handful. So just wrapping it around my hands a couple times. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of bunch it up and put some dimensionals on it, on the back of the label, just to kind of glue it down. And you just kind of want it to be messy and uneven. And I always take the ends and just kind of tuck them in so that they don't stick out. Okay, underneath the dimensionals. So then it has this kind of bunched thread underneath it. And then I just kind of tucked it under the fish a little bit, like so. And then you have this, such a cool card, right? Love it. So I love this set. I showed you 3 different ways you can use it. They're completely different ways. This set is so versatile. You've got the beach themes, you've got the pond themes. You can even make a bunch of flowers with it. So let me bring out the projects again so you can see. So we've got our fishing, which is the brush up, or the pigment sprinkles. We've got the sunsets with the palm trees. And then we have this beautiful scenic card here. So it's like scenes, right? It's like beautiful scenes. Again, you guys, remember, you can get my make and takes by placing a $30 order. I package them up just like this and mail them to you with the link to the video so you can refer back to measurements and details. Or you can enter my Rafflecopter and get a chance to win them. I give away a set each week. So make sure you go on and place an order, a $30 order, using my code. If you up it to $50, you'll get my coffin treat boxes as well, because it's a new month and a new free gift. Thank you guys so much for watching this week with me. I had so much fun playing with these. I can't wait to show you some favorite things out of the holiday catalog coming up next week. And again, don't forget about In Color Club and the paper and ribbon shares. You guys will want to do that before the deadlines this week, okay? Thank you guys. Bye.